welcome back. I'm Pandix. We're gonna do some more sewing. How are you doing today, Rack? So I did a lot of thinking last night. You hear me? Yay! The video is working. The audio is working. I'm surrounded by cats, so we'll see how that goes. So when we left off last night / this morning, cat's trying to jump on the keyboard. That's not good. My cat's a jerk. That's all right. When we left last night, I was having some issues with this hood for this capelet that I'm working on. It's really thick and it's lined with faux fur, so it's doubly thick right around pleats. So I'm gonna try to reaffix this to where I don't need pleats. We'll see how that's gonna go. Today's a boring day. I'm sorry, but it's like, hopefully it's relaxing because that's all right and it's necessary. I'm gonna fuss with my cords down here for a sec. Because I can't really sew if I can't find a foot pedal. And there's my seam ripper. Because we're gonna need to tear out some stuff. Kind of do a mulligan on some of the things that I tried to stumble through last night. But with a little luck, this will be finished in maybe an hour or two. I say that, it's probably gonna go a little longer than that. But it's okay. Yeah, Kitty's surprising. She's right here, sitting on the bench, sitting on a decoy piece of fabric, which I don't have boxes around, so I've got bits of fur and fluff and whatnots that I don't know if she's buying it yet. I'm not gonna talk about it anymore. She's listening. So hopefully the audio's okay. We did put in a new webcam, so we've got camera 1 and camera 2, so I can show you guys the big picture when I'm holding up big bolts of fabric and things. And I know this camera's a little rough. That's the one we were using last night, so we'll upgrade it as things go. So yeah, decoys are good. They are working so far, but as I said, I'm surrounded. I think they're just hungry, but Dover will take care of that at some point. Also got a bit of an afternoon sips going on because I haven't had caffeine today. We'll take care of that. I'm gonna mute my phone to be professional. I'm gonna do it on camera to be extra professional. There we go. Okay, so thankfully I had so much trouble with this towards the end of the night that there's not much to take out, and then we'll see where we go from there. Is that Red Bull in a chalice? There is Red Bull in that, yes. Is it just Red Bull? No, but it's pretty light for the day. So I was gonna do this off camera, but I mean, it's part of the process. Sometimes you try something and it just doesn't work. So you kind of lick your wounds and rip your seams. It's not a big deal. At least not in this case. The fabric's pretty rough anyway, so even if it does tear, I'm not really worried about it. But because we use such a thick thread, it's pretty easy to delineate where that is versus the fabric. So it's not that bad. I'm just gonna make sure I don't cut any other seams that I don't want to, because we've already done hard seams for a lot of this. That's the part that gets irritating. I've also tried to find all the pins. I stabbed myself a few times, but no swears, so we're good. But I seem to have found another. So we'll put this up here. And I'm gonna, hold on. I'm gonna have to work on this. I know that Dover put a picture up there I think it's a little too big for the screen, but I'll adjust that later. For now, we'll just deal with it. So for the visibility, I apologize. But again, we've got that wide camera now, so we can still see everything. And right now, all I'm doing is like prying and ripping, so. Or at least trying to. I can't find the seat on this one. How's the music level? Is it okay? Is it too loud, or I don't know if you guys can hear it at all, but I don't want to drown you out. Music is fine, audio is fine. Thank you. I appreciate that, because I can't hear shit. Smooth. So, Rack, I'm sorry it's been a boring day, but I mean, do you have any fun plans for the weekend? Are you gonna do something tomorrow to kind of make up for the lull today? Well, I'm not sure your schedule. I mean, you might be working, but very slippy seam, Rupert. Slippery. I can't speak. Keeps flying out of my hand. Nope, no plans. You know what? Sometimes, I won't lie, that's the best type of weekend. Like, it doesn't feel like it when it's happening. You're kind of staring at the walls or the back of your eyelids. But, man, those low-key weekends where you literally do nothing can be so therapeutic. I love them. Dover gets at me every now and then because I just like to sleep, but whew, nothing like just really chilling out. First weekend I haven't been taking a 5-hour drive in months, so I don't. Yeah, that's fair, man. Those drives, yeah. Yeah, they do take their toll. Kind of feels like you're always on the road, and when you're not, I don't know if you get that, but whenever we do a lot of trips back to back over the weekends for the game company or anything like that, or family or whatever, it's that first weekend that we're not doing anything, I am stir crazy as all hell because I feel like I should be driving. I should be wasting time in a vehicle, and it's hard to decompress after that. You know, I'm sure. So, and that 5+ hours, I mean, round trip. If you're making a round trip, I don't know if you're going one way, but that's a good chunk of your weekend right there. Just sitting in a car with a bunch of strangers on the road. Super bored, but I don't want to do anything. And you don't have to. That's the beauty of it. You don't have to. I'm gonna sit here and rip some seams and try to make this work, and you can just chill out. It's cool. Very slow process. I mean, this fabric's probably durable enough where I could give it a little more pull, but I really don't want to tear this velvet. Especially since I'm going to be working on this part of the piece anyway quite a bit. I don't want to wear it down. Preemptively, at least. But I still think that if I pull off what I'm going to try to do, it's going to be good. It's going to make the hood a lot more, a lot fuller. It's going to be a lot thicker on the shoulders. So it's almost going to look like a fur shawl, but it'll still pop up. I'm not sure if I'm going to have to try to put some sort of wire on the edges of the hood to hold the form. And I think I'll be okay, because if I do that, then it will be super full even when it's down. And I don't really want to be a walking, you know, wastebasket. So, seam ripping too spooky. Yeah. It's not my first rodeo with this. I've ripped many a seam. Had to undo many a things. But again, this is just... It's not entertaining, I know. And it's gonna take a while, but... It's not all of it. It's just chunks of the cloak. And I think I just found another pin. So that's good. Maybe that's not a pin. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But this is the joy of, you know, the entire bit. Is kind of like Dover's photoshopping. It's not all glamorous. None of it's really glamorous. But I think the coolest part is that if I actually pull off a project, the transition from a thought in my brain to an actual, you know, piece of just reality, it's kind of cool. Dover sneaking off in the hallway trying to get caught on camera. And there's a cat. Hello, Banshee. No, you're not going to show yourself on camera. You're just going to put your tail in front of the screen. That's nice. I can't believe how fast it came along. Yeah, the things that take a long time, some of the preliminary work is actually cutting the patterns and the pieces. I didn't do that on stream because it requires a lot of surface area, and really, I mean, it's me rolling around with the cats on the floor, which maybe I do like a time-lapse video for some of that, or if I did a long stream, do a from scratch. But really, that's it's not the best kind of scenario for anyone, I think. And that takes a long time. Putting the pieces together is generally not... That's not the hard part of a project. Well, I mean, it's part of the sewing, but... Finding all the little bits and sleeves and kind of just straps, if you will. Figuring out where they all go. That's the hard part for me, at least. I can sew this shit together and then seam rip if need be, but... And as I said yesterday, it's a lot easier to do this kind of stuff when you've got an actual sewing machine. Because that by hand stuff is rough. I'm really trying to avoid having to do any hand stitching on this one. At least completely. I don't mind doing touch-ups, but having to hand sew this whole thing together and then re-sew it and re-sew it and re-sew it is just gonna... It's gonna delay my my timeline a little bit for this. And at that point, it would be one of those things that I started taking to work with me and doing it on my lunch break. It's just, it's not the fun part of things. You got a dancing moose to the side of me. Aha, this is a pin. Yes! sounds like a grind. Yeah, I mean, it's part of it. If you want it to work, sometimes you just gotta do it the old-fashioned way. It does make you appreciate the machine. And at some point, there should be a another machine in transit. We have Ben's grandmother, Dover's grandmother, had a very nice drop-down Singer. Not the standard full desk, but it was a kind of a smaller, more compact version. And Grandma Alice really took care of that thing and loved the hell out of it. And it's been in really good hands since her passing, since Papa's passing. But the family knows that I'm kind of the seamstress, well, a seamstress in the group, not the one. But so at some point when we can make the trip, we'll have a whole new machine. What's up, Undertaker? How you doing? Yeah, they're getting harder and harder to find, and especially one that's in really working condition that doesn't require a whole lot of restoration. So I'm really excited about that. So when we can make that trip to go pick it up, I'll have a kind of a reveal. We'll clean it up. We'll give it some real good care, and then maybe that's when we just to learn the machine. We'll just go for broke and try to do something on it, because I have no idea how to work those. So that'll be real. It's real exciting. I'm stoked. So, but in the meantime, I'm just gonna rip these seams, because that's what I do. Undertaker, how's your day going? How you doing? No, thank you. I don't want any cheese. So that was for Dover, not for you guys. Assuming that no one's offering me cheese virtually at that particular moment.
All virtual cheese.
Virtual cheese. That sounds like it should be a tech band. So Undertaker, I am making a lined capelet / cloak. It's not going to be a full length, so technically it's not a cloak. It's kind of a soft burlap exterior. It's got a velvet interior. So we've got a lot of we got some conflicts going on with the textures and slippery nature of some of this fabric. It has this really big hood that has some thick faux fur lining right here. We're trying to bunch this on and affix it to the rest of the piece. It's been challenging. Jeez. I know, Rack. So I tried something last night, and needless to say, I'm now ripping it out, because it ain't gonna work. So I just got a little bit more of that, and then I'll try to do something else. Try a different approach on this one. And I should have checked the sewing machine before I started the stream. Because when we last left it, it made a very loud buzzing noise and stopped working. I'm sure it's fine. It's done it before, so just let it sort itself out. Yeah, virtual cheese, yeah, it was used in chat. I still think it would be a better tech band. So, yeah, thankfully I quit when I did last night, because it would have really sucked to have to tear out all of this. Just a little further. I'm pretty sure I'm not gonna jinx myself. Never mind. Just a little further. Yeah, I got all these little bits of thread now. Just everywhere. I don't want to sew that out. I don't want to pull too hard because I don't want to agitate some of the other threads that I know are overlapping at this point, but try to get at least some of these out. Dropping frames? Am I dropping frames? No? Oh, I am. I'm still learning about this, so I'm not sure what that means. I apologize if it's being weird. Just temporary, hopefully. Maybe OBS is allergic to cats because they're all over the place. Hi, Banshee. Don't show your ass to the camera, you hussy. This is Banshee. She's the she's the broken, skittish pile of cat. She's the youngest one, so she doesn't give a fuck. Just not one fuck. Yeah, drop it. Thank you for this lesson, because I don't know. Yeah, I'm looking at OBS. It says a few were dropped, but it seems to have stabilized, I think. Hopefully. Let me close this. I'm going to close out one of these little windows to cut down on some of this. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, she's a real jerk. So I apologize if she just blew your ears out. If that becomes a thing, I'll put a cover of it or something. I would say I'll just keep the cats out of the room, but they won't stay out. It's they'll find a way. Nature always finds a way. Yay! Almost done. Ah, man. Almost done. Still dropping some frames, but it's not too bad. Okay, yeah, keep me posted, please. I've got my camera paused because the delay kind of fucks with me right now. But if it gets bad, like, let me know and I'll go get my IT guy and we'll get this sorted out. But I'm sorry that it's being difficult. Hopefully it's just because it's a high traffic time. I don't know. And I'm, you know, podunk on the way low end of things. So, okay, yay! All that work that we tried to do has been undone, which is great. Because now I can figure this out. So this does have a purpose. I'm trying to see where it falls in terms of the other piece. See how much fabric, how much length I've got to work with. Just made myself all staticky. That's alright. That's fine. So, if this is here. There's the seam. It might be the new camera. You know, it might be. You're right, but But we'll keep an eye on it. So that, yeah, that's gonna have to go here. Okay. We're gonna stumble through that and just, right now we're not gonna deal with the hood. We're just gonna put it here. It's gonna be a nice backrest for a little bit. It's very comfortable for what it is. It's super plush. Okay. So, to avoid having to deal with the hood, at least this particular second, I still need to finish these sides. I need to adjust this sunlight. Hold on. Sorry, guys. It looks so warm and cozy. Yeah, I should make a blanket like that, and I think I probably will with some of the extra fabric I have, just to have a throw, so we can. I like furry blankets all around. I'm gonna adjust this sunlight because you can see the the light off of the camera. So hold on just a second. Sorry, guys. Okay, hopefully that's a little better. Where we operate is we've got 3 bay windows right around here, and it's time of the sun in this corner, so just something for me to think about when I stream, time-wise. I'm never really home at this time anyway during the week, so. Okay. Try to keep the cat from thumping the mic again. So last night we finished up most of the other edges. We finished up the collar so we could try to fix the hood. And I'm not gonna hem the bottom of this because what I plan on doing is fraying it and making it kind of disarrayed. I want it to look like it's been kind of messed up, frayed out over time, kind of thing. And just because of the rest of the outfit. You see right over here, I know it's not a really good picture of it, but you can see that a lot of the leather pieces are kind of frayed and hanging, and the skirt is the same way. So again, we're going for that kind of theme of, like, I've been out in the wild for a while. Kind of go with the war paint that we're going to do, and the spear, and the shield, and all of those things. Oh yeah, it's pitch black all there already. Yeah, this daylight savings time is kind of bunk. So I don't have to worry about the bottom, which is going to save me a lot of time. And it's going to be pretty therapeutic at the end to do a little just cutting and fraying, because I've been trying to prevent that for the rest of the project. So. There's not a lot to do, so I'm just going to pin the 2 front seams. I'm going to pull out the original thread that we have in here, because again we turned it inside out and we did the flip. So I want to make sure that I kind of push out the fabric so it's as flush as possible. I don't want a lot of slack rolling around between that final edge seam, because then it'll look bulky and it'll start to fold in on itself, and it's sloppy last minute stuff. So try to make it as smooth as possible. And I'm gonna pin it pretty closely to each other, because although we've already got a seam kind of holding it in place, this the underside of this velvet, which is part of the lining, is still very slippery, and it's going to slide against that kind of more synthetic edge of the burlap, the underside of that lining as well. So again, I'm gonna try to kind of eliminate all of those chances for it to bunch, because we've been really fortunate about being able to hide a lot of the seams of this project since I'm way out of practice, but this is one of the few that I gotta get right. At least relatively. And give it my best. And because I'm doing an outside seam, and it's going to be pretty noticeable on both sides, even though it's going to be on a lining, this is where I'm going to do that two color thread approach. So I'll need to change out this thread anyway, because when we tried last night, we tried that super thick upholstery thread. So I'm going to need to put the brown coat cloth back on there. But I may have to spin a bobbin of green thread that would match this part to kind of conceal that string as best as possible. So. The exploding thread. Yeah, that one didn't go very well. Come on, I'm gonna try this. Okay. Yeah, I think that sound that we heard last night, something's wrong with the bobbin and the undercarriage of the machine. So we'll, since we're trading it out anyway, we'll be able to clear out any clogs or snagged thread that may have escaped. Because sometimes it comes loose from the spool, and then it gets in all of the mechanical parts, and then you hear that noise. It's a technical term there, right there. Is that? Hey, more pins. Excuse me. Yeah, I see that. I'm sorry. I'm hoping it sorts itself out. I don't really know how to fix that yet. I'm still learning. This is very noob. Okay. Well, again, I'm sorry about that. Well, I don't want to just stop what I'm doing. But if it gets, like I said, if it gets real bad and it's really ruining the experience for what it is, let me know. And please just keep me posted. And again, I think maybe some of it is because I know Dover's in the computer room, probably streaming something, streaming music, and I don't know if that has anything to do with what's going on my end, but it's not just me using the electronics in the house now, so. Okay. Keeping an eye on the cats, because they are still circling me. The last thing I need is for one of them to jump on the keyboard and hit the wrong button. Hey, I'm excited about what I'm doing. I'm just concentrating. I'm making a capelet right now for a costume that I'm going to use next weekend. It's going to be kind of cold, so it's got some thick fabric and it's got some warm fuzzy fabric. They're not really cooperating, and I'm just doing my best here. So we started it a couple days ago. I'm going to do my damnedest to finish it today, because I don't want to deal with this again tomorrow. Netflix or something like that could do it. Yeah, he might be streaming off of some one of the sites, Netflix or Hulu or whatever else thing he's doing. I don't know. Okay, so we got our edges pinned, and they're pretty close and they're pretty frequent, and they're holding that edge pretty tightly. So I'm hoping that the velvet, the inside of the velvet, and the inside of this burlap do not slide too much. They don't really have any place to go, but hopefully if a fold starts, I can at least stop it before it gets really bad. So now we go to the threads, because this is where I'm going to do the two-tone. So I need my brown thread, which conveniently is right here. I'm going to check this needle too. This needle might be yeah, it'll be good for the side seams, but when we push the hood, I'll probably just put in a fresh needle. This thing's seen quite a bit of use, so, and they really don't last like they don't last very long, so it's good to keep some fresh needles on hand, sewing needles, sewing needles on hand for this kind of thing. Fire the blinds shut. They're shut because in the corner of where I'm streaming, it's where the sun is setting right now. So it's it has lines everywhere on my face, on the camera, all of the things. So there's no shady business going yet. I need these scissors too. That's not gonna be good. I did. Oh. Thank you. Rack, you're the best. I appreciate that. Because you know I'd just be looking for it in about 30 seconds, like an idiot. Okay, so I probably... Let me see. I need to check if I've got a green... Yeah. No, you're fine. Yeah, so... Machines are... Sewing machines are quirky like any other machines, but I've learned that mine doesn't like when a bobbin starts to run out. I don't know if it's just that it doesn't like metal bobbins, or if it's just the way that the machine reverberates when it moves kind of sends it off. But whenever I have a close to finished bobbin, and this has a fair amount of thread still on it, so it's not empty by any means. That would go a pretty good length. But whenever it gets really low, or it starts to think it's low, it's like a printer. It's like, hey, you have 12% ink. I'm not printing anymore. So it kind of goes a little haywire. Oh no, Victor, you're cool. You're cool. We're all friends here. Rack and I have known each other for a long time. So all I'm doing is sewing. It's all good. So I'm looking for the green thread for the bobbin. I don't know if I have one made already. Okay, I have one, but I don't think that's going to be enough. So we'll use this up, because this is pretty good thread. And then if I need to respin it, I'll just stop what I'm doing and take care of that. So... Hi, Veernum! How are you, beer dear? I'm doing the things! The things! I'm making stuff! Ta-da! Okay. Having the zips too, because I ripped out a lot of seams I didn't want to. Just one zips. Because, you know, motor skills and sharp objects. I'm dong the things. I did the things for like 4 hours last night. It was great. Alright, I'm hoping that this will just take. I don't see any loose threads, kind of, or rogue threads in the carriage of the machine, so we should be able to just go. Good luck with the fabrics painted. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I'm excited to get this done so I can actually wear it like real clothes next weekend. So yes, it does rhyme. I like that. I like rhymes almost as much as I like puns. Oh, there we go. There we go. I'll show you guys what this is, what it looks like when it's done, but it makes me so happy when the threads line up and everything's kind of coming together is it's very rewarding. Love it when a plan comes together. So please, no puns. All the puns. All of them here. Right meow. I love fucking puns. They're great. And you know they are. How are you doing, Beer Gnome? How's your day? How are you holding up, sir? Oh, yeah, rip. Rage quit my seams. That's fine. Sorry, Deborah shifted everything over, so my my depth perception is kind of off because things are a lot closer than I anticipated now. So yeah, that I'll show you guys in just a minute. I got to take a few rogue threads off from the beginning of the run, but I'm very pleased with how that came out. Except for this little bit, but again. Theoretically, the hood will be here to hide some of it. Assuming I can get all the rogue threads out, it's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna rip a few more. Never let over touch anything. Oh, Chef. She was doing a charity stream, right? How'd it go? Because she's amazing, and yeah. Yeah, never let Deborah touch anything. No comment. He is nice. He's a good guy. No, he's not. Beer is conflicted. He seems nice. He's still a good guy. It's, you know. So I'm gonna pull these pins out and I'll show you guys the two-tone thread. Get a little close for this one. So, and I know that the object of this is to not really see much, so you'll see the stitching itself right here, and you'll see a mirror right here on this edge, but you don't see any. You see the crease just because of the nature of the force of fusing the fabric together, but you don't see a different colored thread. It just kind of looks like a fuse, and that's exactly what I'm going for, is to keep it as hidden as possible. So you guys did snuggle up. It was pretty adorable. I liked it. It was good. Nice little bromance. Are they? Yeah, they are. I'm gonna text over. Give me a second. I'm gonna call my IT guy. I'm gonna text my IT guy. Because I could yell, but he wouldn't hear me with the door shut. Frame. Frame drops. Help, please. This is assuming that his phone is with him right now. No, I may have to go and break it and then fix it, but again, I'm sorry that it's doing the things. I'd like it to stop doing those things, but I have minimal control. So, well, take care, Booter. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it, as always. But you have a wonderful day. I'm gonna sew this fucking cloak. My camera's out of focus now. It is out of focus. What the fuck? No. Maybe.
Yeah, I'm losing my connection too. There's something up with the internet.
Okay. Yeah, the camera's gone out of focus now.
No, it's not.
It's blurry.
That's blurry?
Yeah. I think I messed it up when I held something up close to it. Does it autofocus?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. And
There you go.
okay. Hopefully that's a little better. I'll be a little slower with my pullbacks next time. Thank you, Dover.
Well, if you're dropping frames, my internet connection's gone to hell. So.
Yeah, I am dropping. I'm dropping some more frames. It was intermittent, but it's
it's. Yeah, there's something going on with the internet. It's really garbage.
yeah. I'll stream for as long as I'm able. If it gets bad and we gotta call it, then I'll do something off camera that I don't need to do for you guys. So it's just. Okay, awesome. So now I'm gonna shut up the camera, but the threads are good. The threads are hidden, and my line is pretty damn straight. So, yay for that. Well, except right there. That's at the bottom. That'll probably get cut off anyway. Alright. So we're good on the seams, the final seams. I still have a bit of a billow effect between the two pieces. And normally that goes away when you do a bottom seam. But because we're not doing a bottom seam, I'm gonna have to do some kind of stitching here to fuse the two pieces together. I will do that by hand because I don't want to bunch up the fabric. That's just gonna be a few technical swoops. But I'll do that later. I'm gonna get some of these little bits off, some of these stray threads, and then I'm gonna try to put this damn hood back on. All right. Let's try to get this excess trash out now, because they're just gonna risk clogging up the machine when it goes through, and I don't want that sitting around. But I am gonna pin this kind of right where the shoulder blades would go, just to hold them there right now to kind of eliminate any billowing when I'm working on it. Because the last thing I really want to do is to sew a piece of that to the hood, and then I have to rip out more seams. So, and put them face down, so hopefully I don't stab myself with them later. Love the little fox. Yeah, there's foxes all over the place here. I'll do a full costume out when this is done, because I still need to maybe get a little help from my wonderful hubs over here, but I still need to figure out a way to fix the fox fur to some sort of belt so it stays on. He's giving me this look. Oh, that's great. Welcome in, Yellow Swaggin. How are you doing today? Just ripping out some extra seams, trying to do some finalizations on this cape that I'm working on. It's got a very bulky fur-lined hood that is giving us some trouble. So we're gonna try a different tactic and see if it sticks, pretty much. Yeah, I love foxes. Several years ago, we were considering getting a domesticated fox as a pet, because you can do that now. There's been an organization in, I believe it's Russia, that has kind of bred out the aggressive genes in foxes for the better part of 50 years. So they're on quite a few generations right now. So they've basically turned foxes into cat puppies, which is what is it going to be when it's done? It's going to be a capelet. I know we got a delay here right now, so it's got a. Wait! I can use the other camera. Hold on, I'm new at this, clearly. So. We'll have a leather tie here. This is going to be all cut and ragged, so it's not going to be a smooth finish. And then this will theoretically be up here somewhere. So they do seem super energy. I think they retain kind of that puppy energy throughout their entire life, because essentially the genetic modifications on it keep it as a juvenile, so it doesn't get aggressive. So it's perpetually young, in genes, young at heart, kind of thing. So, yeah, thank you very much. I'm pretty excited about it. It's warm, which was really the goal. Is that you can see here, I've got a skirt that I didn't make because it's made out of leather, and I haven't gotten into leather working yet. But I've got a vest over here that I'm going to be modifying and tailoring for the female form. And I've got a few various bits and furs and leather pieces that are going to go at random. But if it's cold, that's not going to be enough. So they become domesticated naturally, gene selection through breeding. I watched documentary. Fair enough. Thank you for clarifying. I appreciate it. You know things. Well, welcome in, Photo Bunny. I apparently don't know as much as you on that one, so I appreciate you calling me out. Yeah, more like 10 years ago. Yeah, well, 10 years ago, there was no way we could ever afford having a fox for a pet. There's no way we could do it now, but it's still a nice dream. I'm gonna move this back a little bit. I need some space to work with this hood. You feel smart now. You are smart now. Well, come on in. We all have our fortes, and we all share our insight. So thanks for that. You take that moment. Take it and hold it. So last night I made a marker with this killer pencil for the center of the back piece that I was kind of using as a guideline to make sure that the hood was even when I fixed it. That's gone now, as you'd expect, because it's not meant to be permanent. So let me try to find my ruler. No. Sorry, I got a tape measure instead. There we go. So it should be about 5 inches was the center when I measured it yesterday. I don't think it's changed. That's a cattail, I apologize. In my workspace, the cats are apparently kings. They don't, as cats do, they don't care. Alright, so we'll put it right here. There's a cat under the table too, batting at my feet. Might want to switch cameras. Oh shit, thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Rack. It's nice and subtle, like, hey, noob, fix it. Theoretically, I will get better at this. I'm gonna try, so. Alright, where's my back seam on this? Right here. Still so bulky. I mean, that's not gonna change, but it's my own fault. What's up, cat? This is Banshee. She's a jerk. Move along. She's real sweet when she wants to be, but it's her living room, apparently. Alright, so I'm gonna put the pins. I'm gonna put the pins on this side so I can track them a little better. And again, I can't guarantee this is gonna work, but because there's so much of this hood, but I'm gonna kind of just sort it out and fix it later. Kitty wants to step in. Yeah, Kitty probably wants to snuggle up and take a nap on this thing. I have a feeling that when it is done, they're going to take it over. If I leave it on the couch or in a basket or something, it will become the cat's property. And I'll just get to borrow it once in a while. Oh my man, I was trying to work this out. If I keep, what I might do is a reverse pleat, so it's really thick on the hood. Because again, I'm not going to use the hood very often, and then it would help lay it a little flat. Well, not much. It wouldn't lay flat. It would kind of give it a little bit of a texture. What's up, cat? No, I don't want you sitting on me. Go away. Cat politics on the bright side. Yeah, probably the only politics we need to talk about at that point. politics are always alright, though. So I'm gonna try to do this in small sections. I'm trying not to make any extra bulk because, again, we're sewing quite a bit together and we haven't even got to the tapered edge. So I'm just gonna try to sew the back part of it, and then I'll put together a series of pleats outside of the hood, and then try to just... I'm just gonna see what happens, really. I can't even narrate that. There's... Okay. Make sure this is pinned evenly across the way, so at least whatever I end up doing to fudge this, at least it's consistent. Okay. She just wants to be a Twitch star. This is her stream, really. I'm just here to drop the frames. Oh, this is heavy. I mean, again, I did it to myself. This was my choosing. But yeah, we'll see. And similar to what I did with the edges between the outside and lining, I'm gonna also pin a few bits right here to keep it from billowing exactly where I'm sewing. Because again, I've got a lot of fabric I'm already working with, and if an extra layer from the billowed effect of the lining that's not affixed yet, if that kind of makes its way under the needle, I'm not going to be able to tell. So give it a few more pins, and hopefully it won't go anywhere. At least where I'm working on it. So. Yeah. Not the easiest project. Like, for the technical sake, the sewing part's not very hard. It's just this combo. Difficult. I could change out the thread, but because I'm tapering it anyway, again, this is going to be one of those raw seams that I'm just not going to mess with adjusting the settings. It will change the tension because we're working with a lot more fabric now, so the tension that I was using doesn't have to be as strong because it's going through more fabric. So I'm going to lighten that up a bit. I'm also going to increase the thread length, so the intervals are going to be longer stitches. To hopefully make it a little easier to cut through all this fabric. Hopefully. That's what I'm going for. Got that. Move this foot pedal up. I might, yeah, I'm gonna sew this on the velvet end of things because I can't see where the thread's going on the in the fur. It's just gonna get lost. Let's give this a shot. unfortunately, reversing it this way, there's a lot. I'm dealing with a lot of weight right here, and the hood itself is kind of pulling against the where I'm trying to go. Let's see if I can angle this a little bit. Alright. But it's definitely less layers overall, so the machine should be able to push this. Yeah, it'll be fine. And that'll hopefully make tapering the additional fabrics that I'm going to overlay on it, or over it, whatever. Hopefully make that a little easier. Try not to stab myself here. I think a lot of it last night too is that because I'd done so many long stitches, that the machine was just burning hot, and under the lights and over time, I really should have just given it a moment or two to just actually cool off. But I'm impatient, so you know, my own fault. Because Racky, you can see this is going a lot easier than what we were dealing with last night. So yeah, this is going through like butter. It's good. Cool. And again, I want to put another stitch on there, but I know that I'm still toying with this. And I don't want to have to rip out 2 stitches if it comes to that. Let's spill the water. Right? I even make those? Instead of do a super cooling machine. Maybe that's what we can do. We can modify the drop-down Singer to be like a steampunk and do some steam like cooling system. Well, and steam doesn't really work because it's already hot. But maybe some steam release pressure. We'll sort it out. We'll figure it out. We're just table talking here. But really, if I had a house, I would love to have all the machines. I'd love a serger. I'd love, I'd love a big quilting setup. But as we are contained to a smelly little shoebox. It'd be sick sewing machine cosplay. It'd be extreme sewing. Like the cosplay wouldn't even be part of it. Like, no one cares about what you're making. It's just how you're making it. Like monster sewing machine. Okay, so this isn't really holding here, but that's alright, because it's at least holding for the parts that are it's holding for this part. So now I just gotta figure out how to get all of this in a little space like this, in a way that it lays down without being super bulky right here. You don't need blinders. I need a hood. So, I'm gonna remove some of these superfluous pins, because I don't need them right now. Hence they're being superfluous. Got another one. Oh, son of a bitch, that hurt. Whew. Okay. Yeah. This burlap is already, even though I put in those edges to kind of protect it, the edges of it that are still raw are still, they want to fray. But hopefully that'll be good for the bottom, because that's what we want. We want that effect, so that'll work out really, really well for us. But alright, so let me think about this for a second. me get this on the dress form too. Yeah, it's really weighty, which is what I wanted. So if I kind of do this, because the way this is gonna sit, I don't think I need it to be like, it doesn't need to be at the corner. Because when it goes up, it becomes really flush to the face. And plus, I still need to worry about affixing some sort of leather cording or holding here. So I want to make sure I have space to do that and still work with it. So I think I'm going to just kind of affix it maybe to about right here. And it'll give a little bit of edge here so I can work with it. And it still wouldn't look a little awkward if I decide later on that I'm going to take an entirely different approach to secure it to the costume. Maybe I'm going to secure it to something underneath. Maybe I'm going to loop it around to chainmail or something. What are we doing? Hi, Rural! We're making a capelet for my Renaissance costume that I'm going to be using next weekend because it's going to be really cold as far as Texas goes. So, it's a burlap exterior. It's a green velvet interior, and it's got this really heavy hood that we're kind of fussing with right now that's got a faux fur green lining, and it's really bulky and heavy. It's putting a lot of pressure on the rest of the piece. So I'm trying to figure out how to affix this while still allowing the space that I need to make some sort of tie that's going to secure it to my actual beam. So we did the majority of the sewing on stream last night. We're going to try to finish it up today. It's my goal. So, how are you doing? What are you doing besides being here with us? So yeah, I'm gonna fix it right here. And this way. Just reverse this so you guys can kind of see what I'm working with right now. So if I do that, then I'll have kind of a reversed pleat. Now, I used to sew all the time. I was never an expert by any means, but I did it often enough where I kind of knew how not to screw up, is probably the best way to put it. But that's been long past, so I'm trying to get back into it. So I'm very raw, I'm very out of practice. I'm just trying to get back to it with something that just requires a lot of actual sewing with minimal technicality. So when I do mess it up, like this damn hood, I can still enjoy what I'm making. So just trying to think out loud on this one, or rather, just think, not out loud. So I put that here. I have to make sure that it's balanced is really the kicker. Let me do this. And pin this together so it kind of gives me a little bit of resistance. So I want this to lay out. I want it to be... do this. Bring it in, it pulls it up. Angle it. what I plan on doing is I'm gonna put a taper, kind of an additional border over this this entire back piece, because it's gonna be very heavy. It's gonna take a lot of weight, but I'm gonna hide all of this ugly raw stitching, so it doesn't look. It's not gonna look really good when the hood's officially affixed, but we'll be able to hide a lot of that with a nice part of the green velvet to really pop the fur. So that, if that's there, doesn't leave a lot of space here. Shit. I did this reversed. I gotta pull this damn stitch out again. This is why I'm out of practice. I probably would have made that mistake anyway. Damn it! Alright. More seam rips. Hooray! Come here, Red Bull. Smooth. Okay. But again, at least it's not a lot of area. Oh, I guess the title of this video is pretty, it's pretty relevant. It's just rip seams. All the seams. But I think my tactic is gonna work. I just need to work, I just need to fix it front to back so I can make sure that the, when it does fold, it lays flat and it doesn't curl up on me. So I hope that makes sense. It makes sense in my head, and this is going pretty quick now because it was only the one loose seam, so it wasn't my debacle of last night. Check the time. And then Dover and I are Benchmarks. Oh, is it this one? That's it's a different cat. That's Shifra, which sounds a bit off, but it's a Gaelic name that means little elf. She is a 14-year-old cat. She's a sister. She's litter mates with the other one that's rolling around, the really big furry fat one. Yeah, she kind of just does whatever she wants. She's found a nice bit of a leather that she's sitting on, and she seems perfectly balanced. So I think she's pretty happy right now. Yeah, I know you can't tell them apart from that distance. And the camera, I get it. Banshee's really small. She's kind of the thinnest of the cats, and because she has a mental tick and she has anxiety, and again, she's just kind of a broken cat. She has no hair on her, like the back of her legs and her butt, because she chews it off. She has like excessive grooming because she's just got issues. Not that I don't love my cat. I do as much as I can for her, but that was before us, and it's not anything that we can really fix. So we just love her, bare ass and all. So yeah, we have the three. We got Banshee, who will be aggressive and thump the mic. We've got Shifra, who will just lay down and try to get on my lap. And we have the big fluffy bear, who will try to probably drink my water and knock things over. She doesn't really like when things are on the table. She likes to bat them off. So hopefully she'll leave this one alone. Again, decoys. I'll have to get some boxes out. The best friend's cat shoot up. Yeah. You know, we did. There was a time when the little one, I don't know if she was having issues with her sense of smell or if whatever. I don't know what happened at the time, but one of the cats came in from being outside on the patio, and they had lived with each other for the better part of 4 years at that point. So they knew each other. They weren't new acquaintances. And she didn't recognize her by scent or sight or whatever at the time. And she went full feral against the other cat. Now, the fluffy cat and this one over here, they're sisters. So when Banshee started hissing and attacking the fluffy one, Alpha Kitty over here went for blood. So they were fighting and trying to kill each other. We did try Fellaway. I think it might have worked. We tried a couple things in conjunction because at that point we were so desperate and we literally could not have them in the same room because they were trying to kill each other. It's very difficult when you live in a, one-ish 2-bedroom apartment and it's a really open place. So there was no real way to keep them apart. Fun fact, sometimes anti-anxiety medication is pretty effective on animals. And that was something that our vet helped us do. But yeah, we did give her an anti-anxiety that at the time we both had a prescription for. So that coupled with the Fellaway vials and keeping them kind of screened in. Cats twist their nose over their eyes. I think that was part of it. There was a lot of fresh air going on in the apartment, and so her sense it didn't smell like home, and Bear probably didn't smell like Bear, so because she'd been sitting out. But regardless, she snapped pretty hard, so she's better now. Knock on wood. But we'll just hopefully never have to do that again. Yeah, Prozac. Yeah, kitty Prozac. It's a real thing. Cats are just as battered as we are sometimes. Alright. I feel like I've done this before. Do I still have my marker? Yeah, it's right there. At least I still know where my center point is. I'm not gonna fix it to the center like I've been doing, because again, I'm trying to learn from my mistakes here. Trying. But so we want that to line up. I'm gonna just talk through this for a little bit. We want this to line up at the end. Now it's okay if this bunches and takes up some of the slack. Maybe we do 2 outside pleats here and here, but we reversed what we tried to do yesterday. So instead of folding them in on themselves, they'll just lay kind of an angled effect. Okay. I'm gonna keep trying shit. One of these things is gonna work. It's gonna work. I keep telling myself that. So maybe I can do the pleat here too? So I'm gonna kind of combine tactics for what I was doing yesterday. Let me try to get this back on the dress form. So I need to see how this is gonna lay out. Take care, Rack. I may still be here, I may not, but thank you so much for hanging out. I appreciate the support and the hey, change your mic, or all the tech, man. Like, thanks very much. Have a great night. I'll see you soon. God, this thing is so heavy. I might just do that. Let me try this. So we fix that right here. So again, the majority of the time, this is going to be open because I've got a lot of stuff that's going to go underneath it. And I have a lot of accoutrements. Sorry, I have fur in my eye. A lot of accoutrements, pelts and things that are going to go all over the place. So this is going to be just kind of the overlay, the very top layer. So it doesn't have to be... Where's this pin? And it is really hard to see these pins. I don't want to throw it over and try it on because it's gonna stab me. Which, again, it's not that I haven't been stabbed before, but that shit hurts every time. So if I do this, flip this over a little bit. So this is what I'm dealing with right now. I want it to lay down this way. Ooh, okay, so maybe... I'm trying to see how the fabric naturally folds into itself once it's propped up, because if I can kind of... There we go. If I can find the natural lay, then I won't have to fight it, because it's, you know, that's how it's going to fall anyway. And with these kind of thick pieces, I want to make sure that I use as much of the fabric's weight to its advantage as possible. Gravity boss is a real thing in cosplay sometimes, so yeah, that is, I think that's gonna work. And then this, it's a long ass hood, but it'll lay flat in theory, and then when I pull it up, shit, I just moved it. I didn't need to do that. Frapples! I'm gonna make sure the center back seam, no matter what I do with this, is that it still matches up. Because really, however else I fudge that, if that is matched, then everything else will literally fall into place. So let's try this. I'm going to pin this this part of the hood, just the hood, to itself. And this part of the hood to itself. Now that's even, because again, the way that it's falling naturally, it kind of does that work for me. This is really nice, considering all the sass this piece has given me. And then we'll do a little one here. Now I can stitch this. I can stitch this part of the hood to the actual back piece. Let's try doing that. I'm gonna try. I'm hoping that if I throw this over my shoulder once it's all pinned, that this works. Because that would be a real sweet way to end this. I really don't want to go off a stream without this thing being affixed again. But I'm glad that I'm having so much trouble with it now, because this is just a trial for actually wearing it. If I know that this thing is going to be difficult, then when I'm wearing it, it's going to constantly shift. It's gonna slide. It's gonna pull. It's gonna choke, and that's something that some people don't necessarily take into consideration when they're building a piece. And that's why costumes become uncomfortable. And after all the work that goes into these things, it's a shame when you finally get it done and you don't want to wear it. Like that's a bummer. What's the point, right? You put all these hours in and all this time and money and resources, and in the end you can't even wear it. But I'm stubborn, and we're gonna wear this thing, whether I want to or not. It's gonna happen. Alright, so that is gonna fall into itself here. So I'll pin those two together. I want to make sure that that'll match up to the other side. So I don't want a big lump, for the lack of a better term. So let's give me a little more slack to work with here. I think. Yeah. So that's about 2 inches. It's about 2 inches. So again, it's close. So we're gonna go with it because this again this whole piece is gonna get covered. So. We're not going for perfection on this one. We just want it to be affixed. We don't want it to bunch, and we want it to be balanced so that when it does lay, it lays flat. And I think we may have it, guys. I'm gonna give it a try. There's a lot of strain that's gonna be right here, but I've left myself a lot of leeway to help maybe shift the weight so it's more in the central area of my chest, and then maybe affix some straps or something to hold it in place with the layers underneath. So I'm trying not to flip it too fast because I don't want to stab myself. Excuse me, little dress form. So I don't want this to tip. So we've got this. This is going to be open. Again, I think I'm going to fold it in a little bit. And instead of it affixing here, kind of where my necklace is right now, I'm going to have it more affixed here. And I can still throw it over my shoulder, but when it's on, it's going to be draped and it's going to be hugging. So if it's here, it will definitely pull a lot less. It'll kind of distribute the weight centrally rather than here. So I'm gonna just, for hood's sake, I'm gonna pin it just so it's closed. And I'm gonna test flipping up the hood very slowly because I don't want all of those pins to pop out. This is like I said, there's a lot of weight getting pulled down right now. I'm very glad that I didn't go with the decision to do fur for the entire lining, because this thing would be very bunchy. So this is bunched. I'll iron that stuff out, flatten it out. But again, it's going to be down most of the time. And it is going to need to shift. So... okay. Take this off very slowly. Put the dust point back up. Okay. And since I've distributed the layers and it's not so bunched in a central area, it should make, sewing it should be a little easier because it is balanced, more balanced. It's going to be bulky, but, well, I mean the sewing itself is going to be bulky. There's a lot of twists and turns around, but just take it slow and I'll get through it. Oh. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some flip-flops too, because I can't see when I'm sewing on this. I can't see where the thread's going. So... okay. It's gonna be a flip-flop process. Uh-oh. Come on. Uh-oh. Did my light just die? It might have. There it is. Electrical difficulty. Apologies. Alright, so here's the first lip. So I can go pretty far around the back end. And then I'll have to flip it around and just do the hood not affixed to the back piece. All the while I'm trying not to sew any additional layers that are folding into itself. There's a lot going on right now, but this is the fun part of a project. Once you have it come so close together, you're kind of working with all of it at once now. So just gotta take your time and plan it out as best as you're able. Have your machine make a lot of weird noises. Break a needle or two, you know. The fun stuff. Speaking of needles, I did say earlier in the stream that when I started doing this part of it, I was going to change out to a fresh heavy-duty needle. And I didn't do that. So that was my machine's way of reminding me in that passive-aggressive Genome way. So I'm going to trade this out for a fresh needle. Because I've been working with that one for the better part of the entire project, and a few other ones. So it's yeah, that's much sharper to the touch, and hopefully that'll make it pushing through some of this a little easier. It's not gonna fix it, but hopefully it'll help. And my bobbin down here is still good. We're probably gonna need to wind a new one at the most inopportune times, as sewing tends to go. But it's alright. I chose to do this. I do this for fun? Question mark? But it's all good. So that's affixed. Move on to the next stop. Oh, it's so bulky. So bulky. I still see bits of the previous the previous times I've tried to fix this. I thought I got out most of them, but I'm just gonna leave them there for you know, for namesake. Okay. Gotta make sure I know where my next fold is so I don't cut through all of this. At the same time, my entire cloak wants to pull down off of the table, so it's perpetually dragging against the machine. And there's really nothing I can do about that. I just gotta try to hold it in place and correct it when I start to feel it slip. But at the same time, still trying to be consistent with my sewing thread, so... Yes. Yeah, that thread didn't... Ow. That was painful. Got some snags here. Okay, so that's open. Not put the scissors in my eyes. So that's... Okay. So we got that fold. Oh, what did I do to myself? Okay, that folds in. I am gold blooming. Sorry. Dover does this all the time when he does Photoshop. He just sits here and talks to himself, and I always make fun of him for it, but I get it now. Yeah, just gonna gold bloom it. So this whole thing is gonna be sewn together, but not to this part. I'll probably end up sewing that part together, swearing about it a bit, walking away for a moment, and starting over. At least I know what might happen. I'm not really surprised if it does. I try not to, as I can, so. This is heavy as... Oh, get out. There we go. Okay, so there's my next fold in. So I got a fair amount of distance I can cover. Fair amount is relative, of course. All the while, this cloak wants to go on the floor. I'm trying not to sew my finger. Try being the optimal word. Here we go. Slow and steady. Okay, that's gonna fold in on itself. Oh, guys! We're on the last actual stitch for this. And then from the back to the hood. And that is technically on there. Is it pretty? No. Is it functional? Could it be better? Yeah, we'll get there. But this is so much nicer than dealing with what we were doing yesterday. And again, I can always feel the, I feel the difference immediately when I go from like those 4 layers to 2. The machine is just so relieved. It only has to do half of that work, and it's pushing a lot of layers. It's not thick fabric, you know, by itself, but with all of this heft. Where's my pin cushion? Put it on the floor again. With all of the bulk, everything kind of folding in on itself, Yeah, it's pretty thick right now. I know this light beating down on it's not helping the machine, so. I'm gonna fix this so it's more even. It's even on the cape. It's the folds that are going in on itself are a little off, just because that was the big fat fold that was folding in. And it's 6:22, so I think I'm gonna try to finish this hood. I'm gonna try to get the tapering done. Deborah and I we have plans tonight, so I can't be on this evening. But I'm gonna, if we don't finish it before we leave, I will get on tonight, and I will finish this mofo. I gotta find the pins. Okay, it's just that's the remaining two. Where's my marker? My halfway marker? I don't see it. Oh well, we're in it now. Shit. Come on, lay straight. I really don't want to rip the seam again. But if I rip the seam, I'm gonna rip the string, because this is getting real frustrating. So this is good. We're good on this piece. The outside one, that's also good. And then when we taper this all together, it will... Yeah, it'll be okay. I'm gonna have to fold it outside in and then finish it off on the stable side. Okay. This... How do I deal with you? I don't want to just let this hang down. Because it's... Okay. Sorry, I'm kind of in uncharted territory right now. Like I said, I'm way out of practice, and it's showing. But I'm innovative, damn it! I'll figure it out. That's what we got. We got these little flappies right now because we want the hood to kind of fall into itself, rather than be flush up and putting additional strain on the neck. So that's just how we're gonna work it with this. And because there's so many different textures in here, you may be able, you can see the two flaps now, but even if the hood flushes out, it still hides with the texture of the fur. And we're just gonna say that's intentional, because it is now. We've done this 3 times, so it's damn intentional. Get some of this extra bits. Okay, I gotta sew 4 interior folds. And then we're gonna see about that tapering, and I'm gonna try to finish it. I'm gonna try to do that, and then fraying this will be extremely therapeutic, because in the end I can just go and make it kind of look like that does. And keeping everything really nice and pristine. But yeah, we gotta get there first. I lost my foot pedal. Come here, foot pedal. Little scamp, get over here. Move this up a little bit. I've got a lot of weight on this hood again, so hopefully I can keep it just sitting on the table. That will be lovely. I would like that very much. Foot pedal. Foot pedal's upside down. There we go. I can't see this at all. Come on. I think it's advancing. Maybe? Well, it's got thread caught to it, so that's a plus. There we go. There we go. What I was trying to avoid yesterday is doing a lot of the stuff by hand. I'm not against doing it, and I might end up having, I still might end up having to do a bulk of it by, excuse me. Sorry. I got some fur in my throat. I'm still gonna end up having to do a lot of it by hand, I think. Just because of the nature of the grooves. I'll be right back. I need to go get some water. Sorry, guys. Just be a sec. Okay. Hello! Sorry, I had to get some water. I was choking on bits of fluff from cutting this up. So, welcome in, guys. I don't really know what that is. So, yeah. Maybe not do all the spamming? That would be awesome. Well, I'm just here to work. But welcome in. Happy to have you. Thank you. How you guys doing? Yeah, it's fine. Sorry, I've been working on this for a little while. I'm having some problems with my hood. So... yeah, alright. You guys, take care. That is my first pair of spammers. I don't have any mods, so that's just gonna be a thing. Yeah. The internet is a wonderful place. I found another pin! Bonus. I'm gonna get back to work now. I'm kind of going against the grain with this fur too, so it's being doubly difficult. Triply difficult. It's being a pain in the ass, really. I'm not really in the habit of having to shave my fabric before I work on it, but again, there's something to be said about trimming this shit up. I know it's No Shave November, but... there we go. Pull this out. Yeah, it is far from pretty. But it'll work for what we need it to. Really? Dude, you're spamming up my chat. I know that I'm just doing this for fun, but I got no mods right now, and... just... if you wanna play, just chill out. I apologize. I'm new at this, so this is not my forte. It's okay. I apologize that I don't have a lot of the technical, like, know-how on this, so I'm just trying to keep it clean. Trying to get this stuff done. Breaking machine in the process, apparently. Shit. Lost my thread. Hello? Apples. Shit. Wow, shit. That's gonna put an end to the thing. I hate to do this. I gotta go, I gotta sort this out, so I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. Had to go get some backup thread. But I've got it. So, for better or worse, I can continue. Hi, that one cool guy. How are ya? That's better. What am I making? I'm making a cape. It's a line cape. It's got burlap on the outside, so it's really rough, and it's got a green velvet on the inside, and it's got this really heavy hood with a kind of a faux fur lining that's been giving me a lot of trouble over the last couple days. So I'm trying to fix it to where it's balanced and it actually sits, and because it's so thick, as you can see, I'm having it's a challenge. So, but it's for a barbarian costume that I'm gonna need for next week for a Renaissance festival. That's probably one of the nerdiest statements I could compile for you. But yeah, it's gonna be a kind of shredded cape with a hood. But it's supposed to be cold, at least cold for where I'm at. So I want to make sure that I've got something over me for when the sun goes down, so I can stay warm. Thank you very much. It'll get made either way. I'm pretty stubborn at that point. Like it's gonna be a thing, but hopefully it'll turn out the way that I want to. Kind of knew this, how to use the machine. So the way that a sewing machine works is that there are two sources of thread You'll have a thread, a spool of thread coming down from the top of the needle, and you'll have one from a bobbin kind of underneath the needle. And these two threads come together and get pushed through the cloth by a needle. And the needle hooks in one of the top spool into the bottom bobbin, and it makes a bit of a knot. So it's a series of knots holding the 2 or 3 fabric pieces together, and that's what makes a stitch. Just a general overview, but right now I need more bottom thread because I burned through it all. Nice. Yeah, it's a lot easier than doing this stuff by hand. That it takes a lot longer. Certainly not more, certainly less accurate. Shit, I'm almost out of this thread too. That's a fail on my part. If I run out of a spool, I'm done shorter than I would like, so... Yeah, so I used to sew, quite a bit, but I, kinda got out of it because of life and things, and I'm trying to keep myself accountable now by doing it online. You're very welcome, and no, I'm sorry, I don't. I'm in Texas, so I don't get that way very often. Do you? I don't believe in Sinterklaas. I lost my place. Okay. What was here? Hello! How are you? Welcome in. I'm stumbling through a cloak and running out of thread, so stumbling harder through a cloak. I'm having a challenge with this big thick fur. That's the hood lining, so you can see it's pretty bulky, and there's a lot of fabric layers to go through, so... Yeah, that's gonna run out. It's like Santa Claus on different. I figured that after the fact. Yeah, I don't know him personally, but damn it. I've never had to shave my fabric before working with it, but I'm really considering taking this in the bathroom and kind of giving it a trim. All crude jokes aside, this is really getting frustrating. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot of thread. That's unfortunate. I really wanted to finish this tonight. I really wanted to put this in a 2-day. How about taping it? Well, that's a yes. What I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to tape it with cloth. It's called a taper. I'm trying to get a raw stitch on this together so that I can. Let me find some fabrics I can show. So I can take an additional piece, kind of a strip of fabric, and affix it to both sides so it hides all of this raw, kind of bulky stitching, and it doesn't rub against my neck when I'm wearing it. Always duct tape. So I'm taping it, but with cloth. But I gotta make sure that the undersides, the first stitches, are at least somewhat stable, because I don't want this to come unraveled halfway through my day when I'm walking around. And I mean, once I get the tapering on, it should work, and it should hold everything together. But getting there is a bit of a challenge. So, which is kind of the nature of a project when you're almost done. Is that you're not just dealing with one small piece of fabric anymore. You're dealing with the whole big thing, and it gets more and more bulky. No, acrylic? Oh, this is better. Yeah, duct tape's pretty good stuff, man. It's a good apocalypse item. Apparently it makes all sorts of weapons in Fallout. What's that thing in your window? At the edge? You want this thing? Or this thing? That's a little fox. That's a dress form with a leather vest that I'm going to be tearing apart. Probably in another stream. At the edge. You probably meant the fox. Sorry, I've been at this for a while. Yeah. Little fox. Hubs put that... Oop! Is that a frame now? Damn it. Hubs put that there is a bit of an Easter egg, because he was trying to mess with me last night when I was trying to do this. But it worked. So, take care! Thank you for stopping in! Have a good night / morning / well, morning. Good luck with Sinterklaas. When you see him, tell him I said what's up. Take care, man. I need to get new scissors. These are rough. Will this be in the end? I will show you. I'm trying not to stab myself because there's a bunch of pins here. Yep. Thank you very much. Yeah, it's I wanted a little bit of cloth and something soft to go over all of the leathers and kind of straps and bits that we have for the barbarian style that we're going for. So, no, I'm not in LARP. Not really. We kind of just for this piece at least, we kind of just go and just costume it up and just you know, there's no accents or anything involved. We just go hang out with a bunch of people in costume. That's not official cosplay. It's kind of just our day off to go tour the Renaissance Festival and drink a lot of mead and beer and just kind of be merry, appreciate life. I've tried LARP a couple times. The challenge that I've found is that you have to find like-minded people to do it with. I guess it's kind of like D&D. If you've ever tried that, you have to. If you're gonna go into that world of imagination, you gotta make sure you're on the same level with everyone else. Some people are really super serious about it. Some people like to be silly about it, and some people fall in the middle. So it's that can be a challenge when you're with a mass of people because everyone's different. It's not necessarily my thing. I like going to conventions, doing cosplay, without being super weird about it. So I'm not as dedicated as many would be. I just like making the costumes. So, and I really want to get into leatherworking because I think leather is a beautiful medium that is very challenging. And once I get my skills back on for sewing and I'm more familiar with the general process of everything, I want to step it up. So do some leather working, leather tooling, armor making, things like that, just for my own enjoyment. So. So I'm actually totally not in the. Yeah, going to Comic-Cons and the conventions, that's my favorite part, is because you're surrounded by, you know, again, you're surrounded by people that are like-minded in what you want to be, and there's such an energy there. It's fun. Yeah, we've got a couple of costumes that we've done before. We did X-Men, so we did kind of the X-Men Uncanny. So back with Jim Lee, we had the Cyclops, we had a Dark Phoenix. That's me. We had an Emma Frost. We had what was his name? We had a Jubilee because, you know, everyone needs a Jubilee at that point. But it was really good. It was fun. I much prefer going to Comic-Cons and kind of doing the overalls. We do a lot of the PAXs for just the game company. So we're fortunate enough to be able to participate in kind of all of those, kind of the all cons, which is really awesome. It sounds impressive, but it's not. We're fortunate enough to be able to have a good time with it. And we do. And if you want to go, you should go find an outfit that speaks to you, and find a con that's attainable, travelable, and give it a shot. And you might take it, and it might be really fun for you. That's an amazing, amazing costume. Yes. Yeah, I think once I get the Leatherworks up, my first try is I want to do a Majora's Mask out of leather pieces, kind of like almost a mosaic, piecing them together, because that's, yeah. Link from Zelda, do an adult. Absolutely. Team up with someone to find you a Zelda, you know, regular or gender swap, something like that. It's that could be fun. No, good luck with it. Like, by all means, give it a shot. Do it for yourself, because you won't know until you try. You might like it. I'm at a loss right now. I'm almost out of thread, and I don't have enough. Scrap to do the tapering that I need, which again is really frustrating. So yeah, because I could piece it, but I'd rather it just be one big smooth go. Because that's the whole point of covering the seams anyway. So, I think for the sake of sanity, I'm gonna stop here and walk away. And I'm gonna pick up some fabric before the store closes. If you haven't glued on. Yeah, at that point it's I don't have enough length. I need a really long piece if I want to do this in one go. Because otherwise I'll have to kind of stitch and kind of piecemeal it. And because it's already been such an ordeal with this damn fur, I'd rather do it in one piece. And I don't want to add any more different textures to it or patterns because it's busy enough. I'm not above gluing things though. Sometimes you need a little extra adhesive. So yeah, that's a bummer. I really wanted to finish this. Do you like dubstep? Yeah, I do. This I've got NCS going on right now. So this one's a little bit heavy, but I'll just let it play out. Doesn't really fit the whole Renaissance costume recreation. So yeah, oh man, I don't want to call it, but if I don't have the resources, I don't know, halfway through I'm gonna run out of thread anyway. I'm gonna have to stop for now. This sucks. But I'm gonna run to the store. I do have plans this evening, but hopefully I can get what I need to, and I can finish this up and just do a late night stream. So tomorrow I'll have it finished. So yeah, Chill Step is nice for creative stuff. Yeah, it is, and I prefer it. This is much better, but it just kind of runs through its loop right now. I'm still making a playlist, so well, sooner or later it'll be tailored, but it's not bad for stream 2. At least I've got background music. So, alright, well, that's all I got right now. So, I'm gonna put this back up. Oop. Oh, see, noobs. Can't even camera shift the right way. I get better at this, theoretically. You can't get much worse at it. So, but the hood's holding, and it's folding in on itself nicely, so the weight won't, once it's done, it'll be a double layered effect, so it'll be a lot more fur and a lot less bulk and choke. So, thank you, you too. I appreciate you guys stopping in. I'll be around, so if you ever want to pop in and see how it's going, love to have you. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get to the store before it closes. So, thanks again for watching, anyone that happens to watch. You guys take care, and I'll see you again.